To better serve clients, we've created a series of content marketing packages.
Yep.
Let's break it down. Let's start with the executive vlog.
Yeah, so the executive vlog package is basically what we did with our CEO with the Bootstrap video series, and it is created for the executive, the person that should be blogging but isn't, likes the idea of having video out there, and basically it gives them their own show to do it. So the executive vlog packages, they come in and they do 12 vlogs in one day. So beforehand, we give them a bit of a questionnaire. We say to them, what are the topics that you would talk about all the time in your, in our case with Bootstrap, our CEO Frank gives a presentation called The Big Picture at the end of all of our corporate events that basically gives the idea of our organization and how it is that we do things, and that is part of his branding and the fact that he's a bootstrap entrepreneur who's started many, many companies. So we find out what those key things are. We pick out 2 or 3 points that we want to talk about, and key to this is one story, a real life story that people can do. Get them in to the studio, and then we shoot all 12 and post all 12 for a package price. Now what they can do is release one a month for the rest of the year. They can accelerate if they want, but one a month for the rest of the year to fuel that strategy or that blog for them. So in the case of Frank, and what I recommend that everyone do, we would also take the blog and we would get it transcribed. The video, the vlog, and get it transcribed. That would go on, again, on the website. It helps with SEO, anyone searching for that content. And then marketing would research around that topic, and the next week they would use words from the vlog as well as a little bit of research to do a second blog post. So now he's got 2 a month that are in the can after 1 day of shooting, and you make a decision whether you just go publish twice a month or you supplement it with other things. But it was made for our CEO, and we think it'll work well for most executives that are looking to get into doing video this way.
Great. So let's talk about then the second one, which is the thought leadership package.
Right. So this is me. This is my package, right? So basically, where Frank had this high-level messaging that's about his brand and what it is we do at the Wish group of companies, which we're a part of. What I'm promoting a product or a service, webinars, the elite webinar platform, our services as a company. And so I need to be different. I need to be a thought leader, and I need to talk on many different topics. And so 5 minutes once a month won't cut it for me, right? So the thought leader package follows the same methodology. We come in, we pre-interview, and we see what are the topics we want to talk about this quarter. Then we come in and we basically, someone like yourself will interview them, make sure we're aligned, do a little bit of research, and we will create 6 pieces of long format content. In our case, it's the podcast. And those podcasts are 20 to 30 minutes each, supposed to be 20, always 30 when I get going, and they become the core of what it is we do. They get released as a podcast in our case, as well as the video portion of it gets gated on our webinar platform, so it's delivered as a webinar or as a gated piece of content. And then we further break it out into 5-minute clips and 30-second clips. Because here's what we know, is that there is different types of media speak to different buyers or different audience members. So the portable content of a podcast can get you found audience members, as well as a very critical, emerging, younger audience base who's moving into the position of purchasing power. Then you've got your gated content like the webinar, and that's for someone who's already checked out you, knows who you are, maybe they're on their email list, they will sign in and they will watch that. The 5-minute piece is that manager, director level who will invest enough time to know if this product, service, or organization is right before they pass them on to somebody to do the real due diligence. And the 30-second clip gets the executive, gets the attention of someone who knows nothing about you and starts once again getting that organization engaged with you. So if you do 6 of these, you get 6 podcasts, 6 gated pieces of content, 30 some odd, 35 I think it is, 5-minute clips, and countless, I don't even know what the number turns out, short format clips to fuel your social media. And that becomes the basis of 3 months of content for your thought leader. And so that day is tough and rough. We've been through it a couple times, but based around that, you don't have to think about creating video content for another 3 months when you've moved into a new cycle of what it is that you are talking
Right.
about.
It's your quarterly content strategy. And just to add to that, there's no reason you can't also then transcribe, make that stuff, turn that stuff into blogs, turn that stuff into depending on what the content is, into a white paper or something like that.
Yeah.
So other thought leadership things that you can recycle this sort of
Yeah,
stuff
and I think
in
that
many different ways.
I think that, if it's not inherent to the marketing organization there, I mean, that's other stuff that we can't help with since we've done it, but you take the video as a start. Then from that point, we transcribe everything.
Yep.
We transcribe it, we put it on the website as part of our blog because it's great for SEO. Then what we do from there is now we got it transcribed and we got these videos. We usually will then start piecing it together into microsites or ebooks or other types of media. Because again, there are those people that like to read. There's people that need it to be delivered in a different way. And so when I say this is the start of your content strategy for the next 3 months, is that I just get, for myself, I come in and I just answer your questions. I talk about stuff that I've been out there in boardrooms talking about or whatever it might be for a while. And then from there, a whole group of people from our agency to our own marketing department to you take it, run with it, tweak it, and turn it into all kinds of different things going forward.
And for our purposes, what we're creating is basically the video, the podcast, and those video assets, turn it over to the client, and then there's a whole lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, clearly there's some things that other things we can help with, right? We have done some writing for people and whatnot, but yeah, usually we then give it to them and they take it and they do all of that further producing of the content.
Okay. All right, and finally, there is the on-site interview package.
Right. Oftentimes, people have a need, whether it's because they have a new product launching or they've got some change in the market, to do a short sort of interview with an executive, and it doesn't necessarily make sense to come here to do it. There's an advantage to doing it at their office. And so we go out and we do this kind of stuff a lot. You go in, you interview, you turn around, and you'll walk away. But we're there. We got the cameras, we got the stuff. We're in the space already. We're already intruding on what's going on in your office. So we started to turn that into a package where we'll go in and we'll do one interview segment. Whether it be with one or two different people on the team, piece it together for you. But while we're there, we will shoot other things for you. So we will shoot B-roll of your office that you can give to the media if you're being interviewed, or just use in other productions that hopefully we do, but maybe other agencies people might be using. We could shoot some footage of your staff for recruitment videos or whatever it might be. And so we shoot more than we're gonna produce for you, but we give you a package of content that can be utilized ongoing, and we'll give you that one short 3-minute sort of interview video that was the real reason that you called us, if you will. So we packaged it up because we didn't think that when we were being called on site that people were getting the value that they should out of us being there, basically.
Let's just quickly cover when we do these, all three of these things, there's often a host.
Yeah.
So let's cover what does the host do?
Well, the host does, clearly since you're the host of this one.
They ramble. They ramble questions.
Well, sometimes. And people might ask, I do a lot of hosting myself, right? Like I'm one of the other hosts that we have here. And why would I need a host, right? Well, the host has the most important job, and I'm not trying to, boost you up there or anything, Pete, but it is the most important job. The host needs to set the tone for how this is going to go. They are the person who keeps track of time and keeps track and makes sure that we stay on message. If you leave that to someone like me, I can go all over the map, and I'm used to doing this. The other thing that the host does that's very important is, and if you can get a third-party host, they're the best at this, is that a lot of us who are thought leaders or executives or anything like that, there's a lot of inside baseball, right? I talk about webinars all day long. I can say things very quickly, or I can talk about things that you've never even heard of before. And so the host takes the question that might have been written by me or by a marketing person and turns it into something human that the audience understands. And so the host should always come at this from the place of the audience member. When I host things for Autism Ontario, what I always try and do is, I'm a parent of a 10-year-old, and I always try and come at it not as the expert in autism, because I'm not from a medical point of view, but from the point of view of a parent who's half my audience out there. As a parent, I would be worried about X and ask those questions to try and ensure that we keep the conversation at a level that makes sense for the audience. And the last thing that the host, not the last thing, but one last thing that the host does do is they are what keep consistency with the product. So it may all seem like this starts with me, but we could very easily have another member of my team on here about another topic, and it will still be in the Pete's Basement studio. You'll still be here doing it. You as the host are the consistent element of this, even though right now it's always been me and you. And so any program that we've been a part of that has been really successful has had that consistent point, which is this host that keeps it feeling like it's something that the audience recognizes, keeps them on time, on message, and make sure that the audience's voice is heard in the way that they're asking the questions.
Right. And finally, let's talk a little bit about what it means to, what host coaching means.
Yeah, so in the packages that we offer, we include a host or host coaching. Now, we've got two hosts. It's you and me, and we come at it from journalistic background, and I'm a little bit different in the way I do it. But we also say or host coaching, and it's not like it's a feature that you can take. It is a feature that you must take with us if you're going to do it. And host coaching is because a lot of times people will suggest that they've got somebody who can do the job, and that's true, because they've done it before in other scenarios, or they are just great with that person, they got a great dynamic, whatever it might be. But they've never come in and tried to shoot 6 long format thought leadership pieces in one day, or 12 vlogs in a day, or whatever it is, or one webinar even that they're trying to do. And so what host coaching does is we provide guidance on how to frame questions, what to do for the day, how to work within a studio environment if you've never done it. And we help coach that person who's in your seat so they can do a job like you're doing today. And we had to make it mandatory because what we found is that without the person who's been there before, myself or you, at the table doing that's one of the ways the days can get out of control, and we can struggle getting everything that we want to get done. So we've moved it in as a service offering.
Let's get into what these packages are not.
Yeah, so what these packages are not is you're not going to come in on these packages and shoot your corporate video that's going to define your brand to the world. It's not going to be the thing you use as a web commercial. It's not going to be it is not going to be that video that, well, goes viral, unless, I don't know, for a bad reason, but it's not going to be that video that's going to go viral and get 1 million hits. This is a place to come to deliver exactly what we are doing today, and that is solid thought leadership in a show format that is comfortable for your guests and allows you to produce the amount of video you've always wanted to produce. That's what you're going to get when you come into here, and those expectations are things that we set all the time, every day, when we're meeting with customers and prospects for the most part.